What's up everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on Lexalexus. You may notice new camera position and a brand new camera entirely. So I'm hoping you guys are liking the changes that are slowly but surely making way onto this channel. For the Lexalexus Football Prediction League, I've not finished doing it yet. And I've also got to do the Premier League one as well. Basically, after all of the games have taken place, which are a lot because we've got another game week to predict on New Year's Eve. That would be a New Year's Eve special, that one. But after all those games are done and we've got a bit of a break from the FA Cup, we will give you an update of the current standings of not only the Championship Prediction League, but the Premier League as well. There's going to be a lot of calculations going around for it, so just bear with me. But all of your predictions have been saved and independently calculated. It's now just applying those standings. We've got 12 more Championship games to predict, which will take place tomorrow and the day after that. We've also got a lot of Premier League games to predict as well, which I will be presenting in a list right at the end of the video. If you guys like what you see, please give a video a like. It does tremendously help the growth of this channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you've not done so, because all of those things really do help the growth of this channel too, as we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. But thank you guys for the tremendous support for this year. This may or may not be the last video of 2022, but if so, have a happy new year to all of you as well. Please also hit the share button too, because all of those things really do help. Without any further ado, however, let's start predicting the next couple of Championship games. Let's start off with predicting Queen's Park Rangers versus Luton Town. QPR drew 0-0 with Cardiff. One of those results where they may have felt happy with the point. It wasn't a particularly great game to break down. Luton, however, had a much more thrilling game on their hands, as they not only went down to 10 men at one stage, but they managed to squeeze in a 2-1 win over Norwich, condemning Norwich to sack Dean Smith as their manager. It's Rob Edwards' first win in charge as Luton Town manager, so I'm hoping for him it's going to be the start of many wins, and I'm more pleased for Rob Edwards than I am for actually Luton as a whole, because I think Luton have definitely had a lot of quality within them, but obviously with the pressures that Rob Edwards is going to have, and it's obviously taken him a little bit of time just to get things ticking along properly, but I'm pleased for him that he managed to get Luton his first win. But with this game here, I think this is going to be really close. It's the tale of the two newer managers, actually, with Neil Critchley only having 2 games in charge for QPR, Edwards having a couple more games in charge of his respective club, Luton. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. I see both teams cancelling each other out relatively consistently, and it feels like to me that if anyone's going to get a difference, it's going to be from a set piece or someone going down to 10 men. I think head to head it will be a draw. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Blackburn versus Middlesbrough. So Blackburn still somehow 24 games in have not drawn a game. How long is that going to last? Could this end when they play against a Middlesbrough team who are looking like that they are really starting to get into their stride a little bit? Yes, they lost against Burnley, but they responded incredibly well by beating Wigan by 4-1 at the Riverside. Away from home, I don't think Middlesbrough are as convincing as I have seen them at their home games. Blackburn have been a bit hit and miss with their form. They could have 1 win and then it can be followed by 2 defeats. So they are not as consistent as they used to be, I would dare say. I think as a prediction, based on the current momentum and form, I would back Middlesbrough. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Middlesbrough. And I think Blackburn's streak of non-draws is going to continue, which is going to be quite unbelievable. But let me know what you think of that prediction in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Coventry versus Cardiff. This, I think, is going to be interesting as a matchup. Coventry have been a little bit shaky with their form quite recently. Obviously, they picked up an impressive win against West Brom. They also had a 3-goal lead slip against Swansea quite recently. And they've also lost by 3-1 against Sheffield Utd quite recently. So they've had relatively tough games. But their next couple of games, I know they've got Cardiff, but they've also got Bristol City after this as well. These are 2 games, and if they are both at the CBS, I think Coventry should really take full advantage of those, I've got to be honest. Cardiff, as in terms of form, they're not looking particularly safe yet. They're only 2 points above the relegation zone, and if they lose this game, if results go against them, they could find themselves in the bottom 3 heading into 2023, which they would not want to have. I'm not too convinced with Cardiff with their goal scoring form. There's only like 1 or 2 players in that squad that I could back. Coventry, I'm seeing some good form with Gyökeres at the moment, and potentially if he gets 1 too many chances against this Cardiff leaky back line, it could be too much for Cardiff. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Coventry, but it wouldn't even surprise me if Cardiff sneak a winner here, because I was either going 1-0 Cardiff or 2-0 Coventry. It feels like that there's nothing like in between. It's going to swing one way or the other. If Cardiff gets an early goal, I think it will be Cardiff's way. But I think if Coventry control the game like as well as they has been doing quite recently, then I think this should be a game that they should be able to win. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game today is Huddersfield versus Rotherham. Now, this Yorkshire derby is proving to be a really important one for both teams, actually. So Huddersfield currently still rock bottom of the Championship, but they picked up an impressive away win in their last game against Preston North End. This was one of the very few times this season where when they've had chances, they were clinical. And it just goes to show, when you're clinical, you can turn results around and get results that, you know, no one's backing you to get. And I was one of them, and I apologise for Huddersfield fans for not backing them there. And I think against this Rotherham side here, yes, they won't overtake Rotherham in points if they beat them, but they will reduce the gap for them by only 2 points. So Huddersfield will not be able to get out of the bottom 3. It's mathematically impossible to do so, but they can find themselves 2 points of safety going into the new year. And considering the gap they were starting to form, that is a terrific recovery if they could get that. But it really puts a big amount of pressure on Rotherham, knowing how well they started, and now they're starting to stutter and now start to fall into this relegation battle. It really could put a really bad emphasis on how Rotherham have managed to prepare this out since losing Paul Warne down managing Derby now. As a prediction, I'm going to go for the Terriers to actually get a win here. I've not backed Huddersfield a lot this year, but I'm going to back them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. I think it's going to be really, really close, but I do think Huddersfield have got what it takes to get all 3 points. Just, I feel a bit more confident in them than I do with Rotherham's poor form right now. So go 2-1 Huddersfield. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Millwall Bristol City. Millwall picked up an impressive 2-0 away victory against Watford. They capitalised on the fact that Watford did not have João Pedro available, and they really, really did manage to make their chances count. And Millwall getting the away win is something I've really been crying out for them to do. And now that they've done it, they've been rewarded, now being into the top 6 going into this game week. They face a Bristol City side where clearly things are not going well with them at the moment. They are only just above the bottom 3, also by only 2 points as well. They could also be within touchy distance of the bottom 3 if results do not go their way either. And Nigel Pearson is most definitely under pressure. Definitely, if Bristol City can't get a positive result here, we could start seeing potential new developments being made with this Bristol City side. There's definitely things not going right at the moment. As a prediction, I've got more faith with Millwall, but obviously it would be typical for Championship if Bristol City's managed to sneak a result. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Millwall. I think it's going to be close. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game to predict is Wigan versus Sunderland. So it's the tale of the new recently promoted teams from League One, but we can definitely see that one team has thrived Championship football way better than the other one, and that one is definitely Sunderland. They're still picking up consistent results. They picked up a brilliant win over Blackburn Rovers, a stoppage time winner. There's nothing better than picking up all 3 points by getting a last minute stoppage time goal. Definitely jubilation and a happy return for Tony Mowbray reuniting with his old managed team there. They face a Wigan team where I feel a bit bad for them because I did watch them live against Sheffield United where they didn't look too bad. But then they followed that up with a 4-1 defeat against Middlesbrough. And if they are going to be conceding those many chances and conceding that many goals, I really do not have a lot of faith in them. I actually have less faith than Wigan staying up now than I have with Huddersfield, which is saying a lot, unfortunately. As a prediction, I think that's going to continue. I think Sunderland, with the players they've now got back and available, I think they can rip this Wigan team apart. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away victory to Sunderland, but I really hope for Wigan's sake that they can start picking up more positive results under their new manager, Colatori. But I think 3-1 Sunderland. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game today is West Brom versus Preston. So I actually remember the reverse fixture quite vividly. It was a 1-1 draw. It was a very, very tight, tense game, actually, between these two teams. West Brom were really struggling. Preston weren't doing too badly with their position in the table. Since then, obviously, West Brom have improved. They picked up a good win in their last game against Bristol City, beating them by 2-0. A brilliant away win and a great response, actually, from losing to Coventry the way that they did with a last-minute penalty as well. So, brilliant character by this West Brom team. Preston are going through a tricky stage in their season. And what I've noticed is that Preston do tend to play better away from home. They've actually got the second best away form in the whole championship. So they've definitely picked up more of their points away from home than they have done in Deepdale. So now they're away from home. Preston could get something here, but West Brom have improved their defence, which has been one thing I've definitely seen with Corbrand. It's another clean sheet that they picked up against Bristol City, of course. So knowing that Preston will play better, but knowing how good West Brom have been in terms of keeping a tight defence, I actually think it's going to be the return from the 0-0 draw for Preston. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw between West Brom and Preston here. Could be wrong, but I think it'll be a draw, and I think it'll be of a 0-0 kind. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Blackpool versus Sheffield United. This, to me, is another game which I don't see many goals in, to be honest. I think Blackpool would definitely make it their mission to keep things tight at the back. We could definitely see, or we would definitely intend to see, Sheffield United having a lot more of the ball, trying to probe forwards to see if they can get enough patience to break down this Blackpool defence. Sheffield United, obviously quite recently, they have started to actually get some consistency down within their season, which is encouraging on their part. But with Blackpool, at the moment, they've taken up the odd draw here and there, but that is really, really not enough, unfortunately, if they want to try and get out of the bottom three. They are still in the bottom three, of course, but a good result here could mean that they could get themselves out of it. It was a 1-1 draw against Hull, but you feel with how close Hull were in that position, Blackpool really should have done a bit better there. But obviously with Sheffield United, it was a much better result at Bramall Lane, picking up a 3-1 victory against a Coventry side that have managed to de-rattle this West Brom team who've been playing so well. As a prediction, I think not many goals, but I think Sheffield United will eventually get something out of this. I'm going to go for 1-0 away victory to Sheffield United. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. The next game to predict is Birmingham versus Hull. This, to me, I think will also be really close. Birmingham, I watched them live yesterday against Burnley, and they did not turn up. But it's clear to me that Burnley are another league compared to everyone else in this league. They only had one shot on target and one corner in the entire game. And I think at St Andrews, against a Hull City side, which, Hull, to be fair to them, I was going to say might be a bit easy to break down, but actually Hull have improved their defence. That's been one area that Liam Rosenior has worked on. So this could be a pretty tricky test for both teams, actually. I think it'll be really close. But based on the options and based on the players available, I have a bit more faith with Birmingham, especially with their midfield. Because even though that Birmingham definitely did not turn up in the end in terms of a goal scoring point of view, in terms of what they did with their midfield when they were relied upon, they actually did their job quite well. As a prediction, I'm going to go for 2-1 Birmingham. I think it's going to be very, very close. I think it'll be another close but no cigar performance again from Hull as they pick up some draws, but not quite enough to get that win that they really are desperate to get. And I think it's going to be another one of those. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Norwich versus Reading. So this is going to be Norwich's first game without Dean Smith in charge. As soon as I saw that Luton picked up 3 points against Norwich, I thought Dean Smith's got to go. I mean, it's not me wanting him to go, but I expected that very outcome to happen. I mean, they were not pleased, the fan base at all, with their performance against Blackburn. I even watched that. And then against Luton again, just below par performances. And you could argue with their 1-0 win over Swansea, Swansea actually had the biggest amount of XG out of every Championship team and were unlucky to not get anything more from that. So Norwich definitely flagging their performances. They need a new change. They've not got a new manager as of yet, for what I know from recording. So we'll see if they make any more developments when this video goes out. In terms of Reading, they've done all right actually with their form quite recently. They picked up a good win yesterday against Swansea, picking up a 2-1 victory. Tom Ince managing to get the winning goal that gave Reading enough of a cushion. Despite Swansea having a late comeback, it was enough, and Reading actually managed that game spectacularly well. So I'm really pleased for Reading in that front. These are the games that are always the trickiest to predict, for ones that have departed a manager. What sort of performance are you going to get? For me, I think we'll see a Norwich team that'll be more open and free, but I think the organisation's not going to be there either. So I'm thinking it's going to be a bit of a thriller. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game. Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. Next game today is Stoke versus Burnley. So typically in a Premier League game, we would expect like a very dull 0-0 draw. But we're seeing a Burnley team here who are looking very, very advanced, very forward-thinking, and actually very expressive by the way they play. I watched them yesterday, and they were mesmerising to watch at times. The build-ups they get to their goal, how they attack down the wings, and I'm already seeing Stoke being absolutely peppered with so many diagonal crosses that they're going to have to try and deal with, and loads of forward runs. Stoke honestly have not been too bad. They're kind of in the middle of the pack at the moment. They've got 30 points, which is 3 points clear from the relegation pack. And then they're 2 points off with the pack trying to get into the top 6. So they're kind of in the middle at the moment. So a win for them, they'll think, okay, you know, they're not so far away from the top 6, but a loss will definitely get them sucked into the relegation battle again. So very fine margins are defining Stoke at the moment. But it's the worst team that they can choose to play against. I think Burnley are by far the best team in the league. So I think it's going to be another win for Burnley. I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory to Burnley. I don't see a lot of things stopping them at the moment. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Final game to predict is Swansea versus Watford. So Swansea, I think, have been really struggling with form quite recently. They've been winners, I think, in their last 8, which is not great for this Swansea team at all. And when you're winners for that long, it does take a toll. Watford had a bit of a surprising result being put on them. You know, they lost 2-0 at Vicarage Road against Millwall. It was a bit of an out-of-nowhere result. And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond from that. If João Pedro is not available for this game again, then things could get quite tricky for this Watford team trying to move forward. I think they'll be relieved with the fact that Swansea have really struggled to pick up points. I have a feeling, based on Swansea's form, it's going to be another draw. And I think Watford are not in full strength. So as a prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I think we'll just see another game where Swansea just falls short and Watford won't be in full strength. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay guys, that is all my championship predictions. Make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below so you guys can have a chance to enter the Lexalexus Football Prediction League for the Championship. And on your screen now are my Premier League predictions going up to New Year's Eve, because my predictions video will be on New Year's Eve, where we'll cover the New Year's Day predictions for the Championships, and we'll also cover the last set of Premier League predictions as well. So a lot of predictions coming out, but this is definitely the most thrilling time of the football season, this small period that we have. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give the video a like. It really does help. If you like this new style and this new format, let me know as well, and I'll continue using it if you like it. Please also hit the subscribe button, as that really helps too. And please also share the channel too. All those things really do help. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw any of this video. And as always, to see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.